Hello, welcome. All right, today I'm going to show you how to put a grid on top of a container that has a wide mouth opening. This is a bubble bowl. It's a larger size bubble bowl, but you can see how wide this opening is. And if I try to put flowers in here without any kind of grid inside or on top of it to hold it in place, the flowers are just gonna flop out, and you don't want that. Especially if you have to deliver them or they have to be moved. You want that arrangement nice and secure so that it is gonna hold its shape and not, turn into a hot mess. So I'm gonna show you an easy way that I like to do grids on my containers. All right, so what I'm using is just waterproof florist tape, and you can use clear if you have it, which will make it invisible. For the purposes of the video, I want to use a color so you can see what I'm doing. So a grid is just that. It is simply a checkerboard pattern that we make with the tape on top of our container. And you want to make sure that the container is dry when you're applying the tape. After the tape is on and set, it's okay to get it, if it gets wet. But when you're applying it, it needs to be dry. So you can see I'm just creating a checkerboard pattern with the tape right across the top of this container. Now, if I didn't do this, again, the flowers would just flop right out. You've got to create some sort of support for them. And this is a really nice, easy way. Now, if you don't have florist tape, you can use like Scotch tape. It's just not gonna hold as well if it gets wet later on. But you can, you could try it and see. The important thing is to have a support grid in your container to hold those flowers in place. You can see what I'm doing here. Just creating a nice little checkerboard grid for the flowers to sit in. That. Now what I like to do is go around the edge as well, just to seal that tape down. And you won't see this tape. It'll be covered by flowers. And there we go. Press it all down, make sure it's good and stuck to your dry vase. I've got no water in there yet. I'm just gonna trim this one because it looks a little bit long. You don't wanna get it way down the edge of your bowl because you don't want it to be seen. You always wanna hide, this is called your mechanics. You wanna hide your mechanics. Nobody wants to see how it's done. Just that it's beautiful and magical and enjoyable. All right, there we go. So there is my grid. You can see I've taped around the edge over all these little pieces that were sticking, so that gives me double insurance that tape is not gonna lift even if it gets wet. And there's my grid on top. All right, let's cut a couple of flowers and insert them so you can see. Okay, let's put some flowers in so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Now in this vase, we're gonna cut short. And now you can see how that flower, I stick it right in the grid and it stands. It stays where I put it. If I didn't have that grid there, that flower would just flop right out. Then some Solidago. And you're cutting it and you're sticking it right in your grid. And you can see how that just stays right in place. So that's what you do, friends. That's how you get your flowers to stay when you have a wide mouth container. make sure you make a grid. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this grid method with tape helpful, and I hope you can use it in your own studios and in your own flower arranging at home. Thanks. I'll see you in the next video.